A journey into the afterlife, the significance of mummification. The ancient Egyptians believed in life after death. They believed that death was a transition to another world, a world very similar to ours. To enjoy the afterlife, the body needed to be preserved. This was essential for the spirit to recognize its former home. Mummification was a complex process. It involved drying and preserving the body. The Egyptians believed that the spirit, or needed to recognize the body, could then reunite with the body in the afterlife. The process was also deeply symbolic. It represented the Egyptians' belief in rebirth. The preservation of the body was a way of cheating death. It was a way of ensuring that life continued after death. Mummification developed over thousands of years. Over time, it became more sophisticated. The Egyptians used their knowledge of anatomy and chemistry. They developed techniques that were incredibly effective. The why and the how, unraveling the mysteries of mummification. The ancient Egyptians mummified their dead for one main reason: to ensure their loved ones could enjoy the afterlife. They believed in preserving the body for the soul. The soul, could then return to its physical form. This would allow the deceased to live on in the afterlife. The mummification process was long and complex. It involved several steps. It began with the removal of the internal organs. This was done to prevent decay. The organs were then washed and dried. They were stored in special containers called canopic jars. Next, the body was dried using a natural salt called natron. Natron absorbs moisture and helps to preserve the body. The body was then washed again and covered in oils and resins. These substances helped to preserve the skin and prevent further decay. Finally, the body was wrapped in layers of linen bandages. Amulets and protective charms were placed among the bandages. This was done to protect the deceased on their journey to the afterlife. The sacred hands, priests, and the rituals of preservation. Priests played a crucial role in the mummification process. They were highly skilled individuals. They oversaw each stage of the mummification. They were also responsible for performing the necessary rituals and prayers. The priests wore masks during the mummification process. These masks represented different gods. Anubis was the god of mummification. He was often depicted with the head of a jackal. The priests' masks symbolized their connection to the gods. Each step of the process was accompanied by rituals and prayers. These rituals were meant to guide the deceased's soul. They were also meant to ensure the preservation of the body. The priests chanted spells and made offerings to the gods. Priests played a vital role in ancient Egyptian society. Their knowledge and skills were essential. They ensured that the deceased could make the transition to the afterlife. Section 4. Eternal rest for all who was mummified and why. While the pharaohs are the most famous mummies, mummification was not just for royalty. People from all walks of life were mummified. This included wealthy individuals. They also mummified animals, especially cats. The Egyptians believed that everyone deserved a chance at eternal life. Of course, the quality of mummification varied. It depended on the family's wealth. Wealthy families could afford elaborate mummifications. Poorer families opted for simpler procedures. Animals held a special place in ancient Egyptian religion. Some animals were considered sacred. Cats were associated with the goddess Bastet. They were mummified in huge numbers. This shows the importance of animals in ancient Egyptian belief. Mummification was a complex and fascinating practice. It provides a window into the beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. It shows their fascination with life, death, and the afterlife. Section 5. Beyond the tomb. Famous mummies and their stories. Some of the most famous mummies are those of the pharaohs. Tutankhamun is perhaps the most well-known. His tomb was discovered in 1922. It was virtually intact. This provided an unprecedented glimpse into the burial practices of the pharaohs. Ramses II is another famous mummy. He was a powerful pharaoh who ruled for over 60 years. His mummy is remarkably well preserved. It shows his strong features and even his red hair. Queen Hatshepsut was a female pharaoh. She ruled Egypt for over 20 years. Her mummy was identified in 2007. It was a significant discovery. It shed light on one of ancient Egypt's most intriguing rulers. These famous mummies continue to fascinate us today. They are a reminder of the grandeur and sophistication of ancient Egyptian civilization. Section 6. A legacy etched in time. Mummification's enduring impact. Mummification may seem like a morbid practice. However, it tells us much about the ancient Egyptians. It shows their advanced understanding of anatomy. It also demonstrates their skill in chemistry and their belief in the afterlife. The study of mummies continues to reveal new insights. It teaches us about ancient Egyptian medicine. It even sheds light on their diet and diseases. Mummies are like time capsules. They provide a window into the past. Mummification was more than just a way of preserving a body. It was a reflection of the ancient Egyptians' worldview. It was a testament to their belief in the power of the afterlife. Mummification remains an enduring source of fascination. It continues to capture our imaginations. It connects us to a civilization that existed thousands of years ago.